a
Hold up.
Steam Cloud issue.
The camera's over there, bro.
Oh.
You're looking at the green light of my
Well, anyways.
It's that first day of first grade, that cute girl, your third day, that backpack, that snapback you've had since the third grade. The first time you got laid, the worst time you got played. It hurt, but you're okay. You learn from your mistakes.
What's up, guys?
Welcome back to Taku Wars!
Slash Wars.
Wars.
I mean, it's news.
Which brings us to our war session. It's wars.
Oh,
gosh! Just kidding. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man.
What did I just say?
I don't know.
I
heard how are you doing, and then and.
I wanted to say my man. Like, how you doing, my
I
man?
heard and.
Dang, I heard like my money. Like, what? Dang, that's what's on my mind.
Welcome to Otaku Wars.
You know what it is? A little bit of gaming news, a little bit of anime news.
Well, that's wrong. I do the anime section.
Let's say who did who.
Well, you pointed at you when you came to anime.
And then what's after it? A war session. And we got a special new segment after our gaming and anime news for you guys,
sir.
But
Yes,
we'll wait
sir.
till we get to that point. Well, I'm Mike Sensei, codename.
Marquando.
Marquando.
Also Marcus and Mike.
What? Why's your name first?
Didn't you just say your name first?
Maybe. Which brings us to our next war session.
No.
Alright, go ahead. Wait, no, I think I know one of the big anime news is this week, so I'm going to start with gaming news first.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You want to start?
Actually, you probably could guess what one of my points for gaming news is. Of course, guess what's back in the news? Because it hasn't left? Elden Ring.
Elden Ring.
Alright, so yes. PC players on Elden Ring. You guys might want to be careful until they get the next patch out because players are losing progress due to a Steam Cloud issue.
The camera's over there, bro.
Oh.
You're looking at the green light of my
Well, anyways, PC players. Alright, let me start over. So, our first 3 videos, the camera has been shaky a little bit. That's because we put the camera by mistake on the computer that's on the table that we're at. So, I found out that I had this tripod that I had for Christmas, and it's just been sitting next to us.
That's Christmas, and he just now thought about it.
It's been sitting next to us this whole time. And I was like, you know, we could just put it on a different table with the tripod. So, I'm still used to looking at the computer when I should be looking at you folks right there in the camera. But I digress. Let's get back to Elden Ring. PC players, this is really important because I know you've lost data on a video game before. It freaking sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Well, if you're playing on Steam, Steam Cloud is having trouble right now. I don't know if they already patched it as of this, though. They have not. And it is messing with players' progress in the game. Now, they weren't very specific. I don't know if it clears all your progress. My guess is because it's a Steam Cloud where things get uploaded into the cloud, that what's happening is you guys would be like, let's say 80% through the game, and then when you log back on, because the cloud only updated when you were at 40%, you're back at 40% of the game. So you lost all that 40% that you did extra.
Wow. So basically, people bought a game and they really can't even play it.
Just as of now, it'll probably be quick fix pretty soon. I mean, people who are hearing this now, it's not fixed, but if this gets out to the YouTube and stuff and somebody watches it, it might be fixed already. But it's something to look into because I know as a person who doesn't save a lot sometimes when I should, that when I die and I'm like, I have to start back here, it freaking sucks.
Yeah. I mean, just think about like starting a game all over again. Let me tell you, I had that before. It's not pretty.
Second point, though, 2 Elden Ring points.
Another one.
Yes. So, there's an in-game thing called runes. It's essentially like the currency of the game. I'm pretty sure it's what you use to buy stuff or level up.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's probably level up. But I don't know if you can also use it to buy things.
But it's some form of currency.
Yeah. But people are farming it and then selling it online on eBay. And if you do that and you get caught by the developers of Elden Ring, they'll actually ban you. They don't want you to do that. But so people are selling like 1 million of the ruins for $10 or 25. I think 25 million for $25. And the thing is, they found like an exploit where they can like do that. But they have like this multiplayer feature where you can summon like a friend in. So what they'll do is like you buy it, they send them in, they drop all the runes for you if you're lucky, and they didn't just take your money and not come and give you the runes that you paid for, but then they give you the runes. And I don't know if you guys are doing it, but if you are, you might want to be careful because they might ban your account. And on top of that, I found out through the article I read that just the $10 one where you get like the million runes is like far more level ups than what you even need to like progress through the game. So I think some people are doing it to make the game easier because it's one of those like hard games. But actually, a little quick debate: do you think the developers are right or wrong for banning people for buying currency?
Because buying currency.
Yeah, let me state my point real quick, so
Okay.
it gives you a little more thing to think about. See, because on one end, they made the game, and they're not making any profits from people farming the currency and selling it, and they don't want people to just like breeze through the game.
So do they themselves?
I see that point.
Do the developers themselves have like a way for the players to buy currency like in the game or something?
No.
Okay, so it's just basically like
So it's like
you go and find this currency somewhere.
yeah, like if you kill a bad guy,
yeah.
like you get a certain amount of runes.
Okay, yeah.
So somebody's essentially farmed a bunch of runes and then said, "I'll give them to you for this much amount of money."
Gotcha.
So technically, it's like, yeah, fair trade, I guess. But I mean, the thing is, I think you pay for the product first on eBay, so you could pay for it and the guy just not show up, and they just made $10. The thing is, it sounds like it wouldn't be popular, but they already like stated that like one person who was selling it in particular stated that they already made like 100 different sales.
Dang. Holy crap.
Yeah, but back to our question: do you think it's right or wrong? Now think about it before you answer though. The developers made the game, yes, but you bought the game. And if you're not affecting anybody else, because it's not like a MMO where like there's 100 people around you that like you can't control because you have to share the game. It's your game. You can invite your own friends if you want to, or play alone. You bought it. Do you have the right to buy currency and level up? Because for me, if you're gonna take that risk and buy it, I think it's okay. I mean, yeah, you're not playing the game the right way or how the developers intended, but you're also not hurting anybody. You spent your own money to what? Get a bunch of levels up and cheese through a game?
Honestly, like, at first I was thinking, well, yeah, this is definitely wrong. I mean, it's wrong at some point of view, but, like, if you really think about it, like, I used to use cheat codes, like, all the time.
Oh, yeah, I
And
didn't
it's
think
like-
about the cheat code aspect.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, so if I'm gonna go online and use a cheat code, like, yeah, it's not the intent way to play the game, but I'm just making the game easier for me to play. And at the end of the day, it's not hurting me, it's not hurting the developers, it's not hurting anyone.
Exactly. And
So
you
it's
probably
like-
enjoyed your time doing that, didn't
Yeah,
you?
I did.
Because I remember using cheat codes and like making cars drop out of the air and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't use them anymore, but like back then when I was playing games like old games like
Back when they had the cheat code book
Transformers.
that you could
Yeah.
get from the store. Yeah, I wonder if they make a lot of
Yeah,
cheat codes
if you
now.
want to go to like to these other sellers that are selling these runes and just to make the game easier for you, you want to level up faster, I'd say go for it.
Yeah.
I mean, if
I
any,
say more power to you. It's, I mean,
just
it's your game
be careful doing it.
Yeah, if you want, I'm not endorsing it because there's probably a bunch of people who got ripped off. But I'm saying if the game is too hard for you and that's what makes you happy is buying a million runes and leveling up, go for it. You're not hurting anybody. You're not doing anything.
And if the developers like came up with this system in the first place, then I'd be like, oh yeah, then it is wrong because the developers did come up with a way for you to buy the currency to make the game easier,
Yeah.
but they didn't do that.
And as far as the people making money off their game, I don't think that's wrong either because I mean you can Twitch stream a game.
Yeah, you
You're
can Twitch
playing the
stream a
game
game
and
and you're
people-
making money off of it.
Yeah. So all you're doing is selling what you made in the game to somebody else. But then again, there's the aspect of it's not our game, it's not our rules. You know what I mean? Like, if you came into my house and I said, like, I don't wear shoes on the carpet, then you would have to at least respect my rules. And in my house, you don't wear shoes on the carpet.
Honestly, I'm sure if the developers really wanted to stop it, they could put some sort of code in there that stops it or something.
Well, essentially, probably what they would do, which would cause a huge uproar, is take multiplayer away. You know, like where you can bring your friends in. Or simpler, take trade away, where you can't drop or trade items. Which, as a person who plays like MMOs, not being able to trade with your buddies freaking sucks, dude.
Oh, yeah, that would be pretty bad actually. I was like, multiplayer, wait, and then it was like, yep, nope, that makes sense.
Well, I didn't mean to talk about this for so long, but it's just an interesting little byproduct.
No, it's fine.
And of course, yeah, Elden Ring's back, but those were the 2 points I have this week about it. So maybe it will be back next week with more news, or maybe we can finally move on to a new game.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, a more popular game has to come out sometime, or Elden Ring just has to stop talking about it at some time. At some point, it's just gotta stop.
Either that, or we're gonna end up having to make
I'm not mad about it.
Either that, or we're gonna have to make a segment called Elden Ring.
We're gonna have to come up with a new Twitch stream just called Elden Ring.
All right, take us away with your first anime point, my bro.
All right. So this one is huge, but at the same time, I feel like this is the one that everyone already knows about.
Oh, you aren't starting with the one I think you're starting with.
I am starting with it. I am.
All right.
Just,
it was Wednesday, right?
I believe.
Or was it Tuesday?
I think it was Tuesday.
Tuesday.
It was Tuesday. Yes, when it was officially announced. And there are some points that I would like to bring up that some fans of Funimation and Crunchyroll are like kind of.
Well, first you should tell them the news.
All right, fine. Freaking diss me. So Funimation is moving over to Crunchyroll. There you go.
Yeah, if you haven't heard, Funimation is moving over to Crunchyroll.
So basically,
and I brought the news to him first.
No, you did not. You told me there was something big in the anime world happening.
And you purposely didn't ask until you found out.
I found that at home, and Twitter emailed me about it.
You would have just simply said what? I would have been the first person.
No. You were being all smug about your text, like, oh, I found something out that's big in your department. So if you ask nicely, basically, beg you, dog.
Did I actually say ask nicely?
Yeah, you said if you ask nicely, I'll tell you about it.
That's funny. All right, enough interruptions though. I'm sorry.
So basically, what I want to talk about is like, if you are a Funimation user, you're a Funimation user.
I'm both actually.
You are both. So a lot of fans of Funimation, people who have Funimation accounts, are just like not happy about this actually. Just because of the fact they have like subscriptions to Funimation, and they're just like, oh, I just renewed my Funimation subscription, and what's going to happen? Am I going to get compensated for that? Am I going to get the 60-day free trial? By the way, there's a 60-day free trial. If you're a Funimation subscriber, or even a Verb subscriber, you can actually go get the 60-day free trial right now.
Yeah, they send it to your email, or you can just go onto your account, because I logged on to my Funimation, and it says that I can switch over. Even if I log on to the PlayStation like I did yesterday because I was watching One Piece, when you log on, it has Crunchyroll's, is her name Hime?
I think so.
Was right there, and there's like a video you watch that says that you get like 60 days for free or something like that if you're a Funimation thing. I also agree though, I'm kind of nervous about Funimation moving over because I feel like they're going to add all the stuff to the library, but like I had Crunchyroll for sub and like a little bit of the dubs they had, but I had Funimation mainly because they were mostly dubs. So I'm afraid that if Funimation gets absorbed, they'll have all the content from the library, but they won't add all the dubs. But
Yeah,
only time will tell, so maybe you even know more about that?
So basically what's happening here is if you want compensation for your subscription, basically right now they don't have an answer for you. Because all the answers that have anything to do with that, at least when I looked on the Twitter account, they were just basically every single response was, oh, you have to go to Funimation support. And you know me and Funimation support. But what did I say all the time? Funimation people aren't technicians. They're just not good at it.
You've told me that many times.
Because it's true.
You've also told me to get rid of Funimation many times.
And look at that, it's moving over to Crunchyroll. I was right. So Yeah, that's basically what's happening. They don't have an answer for you. You basically have to go to Funimation Support if you want to try to go get compensated for your money, if you have a Funimation account already. But as for other stuff, if you're wondering stuff like about like your digital copies, your queue, like stuff in your history, your watch time, stuff like that, that's all not going to be in there right away, but they're working on it.
Oh, at least they're going to try to do something.
Yeah, so
That's
basically,
more than the support for their actual app.
basically all the stuff that's on your Funimation account, all the stuff that you're watching and stuff like that, your digital copies, that's all eventually going to be transferred over according to Funimation, but it's just something they're working on right now. So you won't see it right away, but you should see it eventually.
Big news.
Oh,
you know what I
actually,
also wondered about that?
one more thing about it. Funimation, like on the app itself, I don't know, it's just gonna like just completely disappear once they successfully transfer everything over. But as for right now, you won't be able to stream new stuff on the Funimation app. You'll be able to stream like any anime that's like completely brand new and doesn't have any episodes out yet. So any continuous series that is new, you should be able to still watch on your Funimation app.
Makes sense, but if you get the 60-day trial for Crunchyroll for free or something with it, I mean, it's no biggie to go over to Crunchyroll and watch it. The thing is, though, what I was wondering is, now that Funimation went to Crunchyroll, what I liked about both of them is that my Funimation, I think, is only $4.99 a month, and I think Crunchyroll is $6.99 or $7.99. So what I'm hoping doesn't happen, which usually when
They double the price?
this happens, yeah, they double the price.
Well, let me tell you, I have a Disney Plus account, and they I swear it's $1 more every year.
Right? No, Netflix just went up to $19.99
Oh my god.
a month.
I just
It's
like
$20 a month.
I just like how we I mean, we had Verve, and Verve, was cool. But the thing is, like with Verve, you can obviously like take stuff out, right? But like with Funimation and Crunchyroll, it's kind of hard to do that, just because they have the rights to own that content.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying now.
Yeah, so
You kinda
let's
lost me
say
at
I
take
see
this out.
let's see I see Cinderella on Verve, eventually Cinderella's gonna be going, right? If you
Yeah.
see Cinderella on Verve, that might be weird. I don't know.
I was
I'm
not
pretty
gonna
sure
say
Verve has
anything.
I'm pretty sure Verve has a lot of stuff. I was just using it as an example.
Alright, my next point, because there wasn't a lot of big news going on in the gaming world, I was just going to talk about the new releases. So as far as this week went, Shadow Warrior 3 came out, Gran Turismo 7 came out,
Oh shoot.
and yeah, a lot of people like Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo got a lot of good ratings too. It's considered to be like one of the good games, like for Horizon Forbidden West, which we talked about on this show, and obviously Elden Ring, which we also talk about almost every episode of this show.
I remember playing Gran
But
Turismo
last
back
but
in
not
the day.
least, let's break the freaking mold, was an absolute disappointment. Babylon's Fall by Square Enix also came out this week, and that game sucks with a capital S. And I'm not talking about each player has a different opinion, because I looked up to see, am I the only one who thinks that this game is garbage?
Yep.
Because they have a free trial. If you type it on YouTube, everybody, what the fuck is this game? This game sucks. What is going on here? What happened here?
Oh no.
But apparently it's the Avengers problem. They just riddled it with a bunch of stuff to buy because you're grinding so hard. And here, I didn't know a
Is
bunch
the
of
stuff even worth it?
See, the battle in the game, the battle is really cool. And the fact is, I can invite you, and we can take on the tower together. It's a tower that you go on. Because the bad guys do get kind of tough to face by yourself. I went through it pretty easy, and then I got to the second floor or something, and then when I got to the boss, it took me like 30 minutes of slowly hitting him and then running away to finally beat him, because I think it was meant for you to do with friends.
Okay.
But the thing is, the game looked so bad. Like right off the bat, when they were on the
Visual wise.
Oh, visually wise, when you make your character, looked atrocious. As soon as you start on the scene where you're a prisoner on a boat, and they essentially hook this backpack up to your back. But the point is, that scene when they're showing everybody, they look so bad, like PS2 graphics. Remember back when like we used to think graphics were good, but the hair was like chunks instead of like strands.
Yeah.
And like the face, it looks so bad like that. And the thing is,
So basically, this game took a step backwards.
I thought, but then there's like aspects in it that look good. Like when you're walking through the level, like they have these colorful crystals that come up, and they look good. And so like some things look good and some things look bad, and I couldn't put my finger on it. So then when I watched a review, I found out that like you know, Babylon from like the Bible and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, they wanted to do something different and make it look like an oil painting because like of how things like depict religion are usually like oil paintings and like either that or stained glass. But so they wanted the game to look like an oil painting. But the thing is, they did such a bad job because you think if they made it look like an oil painting, I would have been able to tell. Like you would have had like maybe dark around the edges, you know, like a faded dark, and then make everything kind of look like it. And then when you get to the cutscenes, instead of having like people move, it kind of makes it look like they have a low budget. Because like, let's say me and you are having a conversation right now.
Yeah.
So I would say something, and then I would cut to like this and continue talking, and I'd cut back.
What?
But see how you can see my head move, like motion? No, it was stopped like this, and then all of a sudden the next scene you would see, they're instantly like, it was like, stop. It was like jump cuts.
So basically, it's like your head was right here, and then suddenly it was just right here.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
I think it was like they were trying to make like it look like, you know, like painting, like different paintings, like you were talking through different paintings. I think it was what they were trying to go
But it
through.
just didn't look good as an end result.
Yeah. Like I said, they should have did something.
I thought maybe like the animation itself was like missing frames or something.
Dude, when I didn't know that, I was playing the game and I was like, what is happening? This game is so crappy.
You know, that reminds me of I think it was Jump Force. I don't think it was like the Jump Force game like in general. I think it was called something else. I might be wrong though. But basically, like the game looked good itself, like visually wise. But then like when it came to like the animation, it was just absolutely horrible. Like you would see Ichigo, and like he wouldn't even walk. He would just slide during like animation cuts.
Oh,
And I'm
man.
just like, they didn't even have time to do walk cycles? This was completely rushed.
Hey, if you get bored watching a YouTube review or I'll download the trial and you can try it. But which actually, a point for one of these sessions is I actually was curious about like getting you as a first-time Souls person to try an Elden Ring game live, and then as a war session subject talk about whether we think it's good or not.
Yeah, I'd be down for that. I'd
Yeah.
definitely be down for that, actually.
That'd be pretty fun. Those are all the games, though. Other than that, they did announce that Pokemon will have a next generation named Scarlet and Violet. Which one you want? I want Violet.
I have to see
I haven't seen the Pokemon,
I have to
though.
see the
I just know the
legendaries.
colors.
I have to see the legendaries.
I guess we could talk about that a little more. We've both seen the starters, and we both said that we weren't very impressed. I haven't seen what they evolved into. Do they have that released yet?
No,
or-
I haven't seen that yet. I don't think they released anything like that yet. I just saw a picture of the starters, and I was like, these look horrible. I don't even know what this fire type is. Is this a dragon?
I wish that I could had the picture up because there was one of them that I thought looked pretty cool. If I even seen the right image that you saw.
I remember one of them being a duck, I'm pretty sure.
How many? Okay, new question. How many people do you think start with the duck and name it Daffy or name it Donald?
Oh, probably a lot.
Oh,
Especially since the duck is blue.
yeah, or Howard.
Howard!
Yeah.
Oh, I bet you a ton of people are gonna name it Howard. Or like some sort of like phrase he says in the movie.
Alright, that's enough with that gaming section though. Back to
Alright.
some anime news.
Alright, so do you remember when I said that we were getting a new Full Metal Alchemist movie?
Yeah.
So it is confirmed, it is live action, but we're not getting one, we're getting two. Two new live action Full Metal Alchemist movies.
Are they gonna be like of the show or something original?
Well, here's the thing. They are officially titled Vengeance to Scar and The Last Transmutation. And both movies are going to be sequel to the first live action movie. that came out in 2017.
I
So
don't think I've seen that.
I didn't see it either. I kind of got out of live action anime a long time ago.
Yeah.
But if you did see that movie, then those are the sequels to that movie. So if you liked it, then I hope you're excited.
And don't forget to tell them that your favorite live action anime movie they ever made was Dragon Ball Evolution.
Listen. That movie makes me laugh.
It's straight gold.
I just like the scene where he like slides on the roof of the car because he has so much gel on his hair. That's my favorite scene by far in that movie.
That movie.
But as of now, we do have a release for Japan. There's one is coming out May 20th. I believe that's Betsuna's Scar, and the other one is coming out June 24th. And as of right now, there is no international release date.
So they all go together, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you'd have to watch the first one, and then the next one coming out would be technically number 2 in the series, right?
Correct.
Okay. I guess I'll hit you up with my last gaming news.
All right.
Ubisoft. I need to stop saying I just realized that. But back to what I was saying. Ubisoft, the Settlers reboot. I personally don't know that game. I know Ubisoft because I love Assassin's Creed and can't think of other games off the back on the spot right now. But
either.
I know that I like them. The Settlers reboot, which apparently was the 8th installment in the series, so apparently there's a lot of other of these games.
Wow.
And
franchise.
the last one they made was actually in 2010, so it's like a real older game, I guess. Because that means if they had 8 installments, it was all before 2010 for the other 7. But anyways, so that means they've been working on it for 10 years. But
Holy crap, 10-year production for a game?
Yeah, you get this though. It was supposed to come out March 17th of this month, this year.
Oh.
So only like a week or 2 away. And they just announced that they're going to delay it indefinitely after the closed beta they had, because the devs, what is it that the devs said? The devs said, in quotation marks, the game quality just isn't there. So I got 2 thoughts about
game
that.
quality as in gameplay, or just
game quality
that
isn't
could
there.
mean a whole bunch of things.
That was their direct statement. Nothing more, nothing less.
Maybe they just thought maybe it's just not a good game to release.
Well, here's the thing. I got 2 points on this. 1, more developers need to pull their game from release and finish them, so that way we won't have games like Babylon's Fall or Avengers
or Rush Products.
Yeah, Rush Products. That's one side of it. The other side is, what were you doing for the last 12 years?
Right.
Where now the game quality isn't good? You had 12 years. How good is the game quality gonna get?
So was this a game that kept on being pushed back over and over again for the release?
Honestly, I only know what the article said, and so far that's all I got on it. I could, if people are interested, I could look it up more and come back with it next week, but I just thought it was interesting that they've been working on it for 12 years and they pushed it back with that statement.
They probably kept on playing the game over and over again, just like, yeah, game's almost done.
Well, they said that they got some negative feedback from the people who did the closed beta too.
Oh no.
So my guess
10, 12 years is still a very long production.
My guess is that they released the closed beta, the people played it and said, this is doo-doo stinky shit.
You need to start over.
And they're like, but it comes out in 2 weeks. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? We don't want to be like every other developer. Yep. So, that was my last piece of news.
All right.
Do you have anything left for us?
I do. So, there's this this anime. I think it's just an animated short, but it's a CG anime basically. And the staff that did the anime, it's called Bite the Bullet. It took me a while to find it because I just tried.
Like the developing company is called Bite?
No. The anime itself is called Bite the Bullet.
Oh, okay.
It's officially called Bite the Bullet. I think it's just like an animated short. There might be more episodes down the line. There's only like a PV and the actual like episode to watch.
Is it like an independent developer, or is it like somebody we know, like Studio Ghibli, or?
No, it's no one we know. The thing is, when I looked up the animation studio, like the article said indie animation, but I looked up indie animation, and I couldn't find anything on it.
Oh, so maybe they don't have a studio. Maybe it was just one person.
Maybe, yeah. So basically, they said staff too, so maybe they did that just to sound more official. But
He has a few friends.
maybe, you never know. But they posted some behind the scenes on Twitter, and you know how in CG we're always looking for like the next big thing, like Arcane looks super good and all that. We're trying to mix 2D and 3D more and more, and that's getting better.
I agree with you. I want better CG, but most of the time I look for no CG, please.
What if I told you one of the keys to good CG was having bad CG?
If you notice that long pause, folks, that's because I don't even know how to answer that.
So basically what these people did in order to get their anime look is they actually distorted their 3D models. So if you look at like their noses or their mouths, they actually distort them over to the side, or like the nose isn't like supposed to look how it's actually supposed to look. It's like kind of like roop and then boop, because that's how like anime noses kind of are. They just go boop boop like a triangle, but we don't really do that as like normal humans, so it's kind of hard to replicate.
I think I get what you're saying, and it just clicked, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, so
That's
and
genius.
the thing is, when it comes to CG, like, or any like animation in general, whatever art you're doing, if you can't see it, it doesn't matter. Or if the camera looks at this way, but it's really this way, as long as the camera looks at this way, the rest doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So basically, they're distorting these models, these CG models, so that when you're looking at them at like certain angles, they look 2D. So they have
really, really good.
Yeah, they do.
Unless if you went to go make a 3D movie out of it.
Well, the thing is, you can still tell it's CG, but it looks good for what it is.
It actually matches the environment.
Yeah, it does. And I'm guessing like all of it is CG, but they really did a good job of getting that.
That's cool. I actually want to see it. Where can you watch it at?
I have a link. But yeah, honestly, when it came to this though, I was actually like pretty impressed on how they are able to do this. As for like the video itself, I just looked at the animation. I didn't look at the story to it. I just wanted to focus on that part of the video. I gotta say, like, when it came to the animation itself, I was like, it doesn't really look that good, but I am impressed on the visual aspect of this. It's pretty dang good.
Alright. That it?
Yeah, that's all I got for news.
Alright, moving on. Normally, this is when you guys would hear the drums of thunder and us going, war session. But we got a new segment for you. Now, I kind of just dropped this on him 10 minutes ago, so
So I'm not a part of this.
Feel free to chime in, because I have a feeling that you're going to want to talk about a few of these. So.
Oh, by the way, if you're wondering, like, wow, Marcus is freakishly tall today, it's because I got a new chair, and I can
He's been drinking his milk.
I can either look this tall,
Mute.
or I can look this tall.
And now you'll never know what he said.
Now they'll never know what we say.
That was such bad podcasting. Okay. So, we don't have a title for this section yet, but me and him started to realize, even though I said I came up with the segment 10 minutes ago, but we started to realize that we're called Otaku News. And even though gaming and anime is otaku, there is other news categories that we don't talk about that fit under otaku. And some of them are pretty interesting. So, I'm going to talk about some of them this week.
Alright.
So this is pretty much random otaku news. Ready for the first one?
Let's do it.
You're going to love this. You know how
Fire your first bullets.
this week a specific movie that nobody's heard about came out?
specific movie that nobody's heard about came
Yeah,
out.
nobody knows about it. It's really small. It's called Batman.
Oh, dude, Batman sucks.
He's joking. He hasn't seen it yet. Speaking of Batman, though, it's been getting crazy good reviews, dude.
Yeah, IGN gave it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, then I hardly give anything that's like a show a 10 out of 10 for the Masterpiece Award.
I mean, that's because, like, movies in general are just
Suck.
not 10 out of 10.
Yeah, a lot of them suck. Alright, anyways. Robert Pattinson. How do you say his?
Pattinson?
I thought it was Pattinson.
I thought it was
because
Patterson.
when they had his name.
No, it's Pattinson.
Yeah, because there's no R in it. Because when I spelled it out, I was like, there's no R. And I've been saying Robert Patterson for like
Well, we're
so
gonna
long.
call him Robert.
So, anyways, Robert Pattinson got in trouble.
Ooh.
Do you know why he got in trouble on the Batman set?
Why did he get in trouble?
Give me one good guess. And if you get it, I'll give you $3,000 right here on now.
He crashed the Batmobile.
No, he stole a pair of socks.
No,
He-
that's not the reason.
He stole socks from the set. They didn't say what socks, but I'm guessing they were or what he wore in the role. He's like, these are my socks
See,
now, I
this
guess.
is why you don't work for DC, man. Because Marvel actors, they steal stuff all the time. They don't get in trouble for it.
Do you actually have validness to that news?
Well, I mean, they do steal stuff.
Really?
Yeah, like Chris Hemsworth.
Yes.
He has like a bunch of the Thor hammers at his house.
Did you get in trouble?
No, he still has them at his house.
Well, I
He's
mean,
still playing Thor.
He still has the socks. He still got in trouble.
I'm saying Chris Hemsworth didn't get in trouble though. He still has the hammers.
Well, there's
And he's still Thor. He didn't get fired. He didn't, as far as I know, he didn't take any pay cut.
Well, there you go. Work for Disney. All right. So next, in the TV world, this month on Paramount Plus, Halo fans should be either happy or mega disappointed because the Halo series releases. Now, I don't-
Plus has Halo?
yeah,
Really?
I'll be checking it out. You want to check it out together when we watch TV on
I
Friday?
mean, I'm down. I thought like, I always thought like Rooster Teeth was kind of like Halo, just because they have that series.
Red vs.
So,
Blue?
yeah. So I was just thinking, Paramount and Halo.
As long as it's good, I don't care. I'd be interested because I never played the Halo games because, I mean, when I was a teenager, I didn't have enough money for an Xbox and a PlayStation, so I just stuck with what I had.
That sucks. I grew up rich. No, I just had an Xbox. Actually, back in the day, it's so weird because I started on PlayStation.
Oh, you did have an Xbox because when we worked at Little Caesars, you were talking about how you were going to go get Dragon Ball Z for it.
Yeah. I used to have a PlayStation, and then somehow I moved over to Xbox, and now I'm back on PlayStation.
I mean, I think a gaming console is a gaming console. Just play your games that you want to
I
play.
moved over to PlayStation just because that's where all the anime games are.
I personally like PlayStation more, but that's just because I've been on their controller for years and I like where everything is.
Also, Xbox doesn't have Spider-Man.
True. I didn't want to get into the touchy subject of we have exclusives that they don't have because obviously that's going to start a war with somebody. Anyways, on to the last point. Potentially not as random as Robert Pattinson stealing socks from the set of Batman, but just as entertaining. So, there's a restaurant that some people enjoy. It's really small. You've probably never heard of it, McDonald's. Yeah, I'm really talking about
What?
McDonald's.
What's McDonald's? Don't you mean McDonald's?
Can you... Nice, anime reference. Can you guess why McDonald's is in the news right now?
They did something.
When you think of McDonald's, what do you think of?
I think of high quality food that always gives me real chicken.
Sarcasticness aside, I bet you everybody who thinks McDonald's thinks the damn ice cream machine's broken again.
Yes!
McDonald's is getting sued because of broken ice cream machines.
Yes!
Yeah, not in the way that people probably would hope that they would, like false advertising saying they have ice cream when it's always broken and they don't.
Mm-hmm.
But in a different way. It's only a little bit of money, only $900 million they're getting sued.
Aw, man.
Yeah, not 90, $900 million they're getting sued for. And it's because there's a small company called Kitch, Kytch, Kitch.
Okay.
And they're a small startup company, and they made devices that they put in to the ice cream machines,
Okay.
and they kind of work like scanners on cars, where they put the scanner on the car and to see what the check engine light is on. Well, the devices on there will tell them what's wrong or what needs to be fixed or why it's not working. And so it was easier to fix and streamline people getting their ice cream.
So this is a place that makes ice cream machines then.
I don't know if they make it or just make the device in it. I'd imagine that they
Okay.
made it with the device in it, is how they made it sound. But whether they make it or they just make the device, the reason they're getting sued is because in November 2020, McDonald's went into all the machines and ripped the device out because they didn't want it in there, and then slandered Kitch's name in articles and on the news, saying that they're a crappy company and that they're just a bunch of slanderous, non-true news.
So kind of basically the same thing they did to the lady who spilled hot coffee on her.
I mean, essentially, but that was a customer who got injured suing instead.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same.
But the thing is, my question is, what benefit did they have of taking the devices out? Like, do they profit more when their machine is down?
I couldn't tell you, man. I mean, McDonald's itself, I'm pretty sure is a company that was stolen from these two guys actually. Like these two guys were actually the ones that like loved burgers and started McDonald's, and then they got this other guy that was great with business, but over time, like I think every single year or something, like he would change the contract so that he would own more of the company.
Oh yeah, McDonald's. I don't know the name of the original guy, but I remember in my entrepreneur class they talked about how they liked the person who made McDonald's,
Mm-hmm.
and it started with one day he asked his wife, "I want to start a restaurant. Do you want to eat burgers for the rest of your life or pizza?" And she said pizza or burgers, and then he made McDonald's. But I didn't know that it got stolen from him. But it would make sense. I mean, there's some greedy, thieving
That's what I
corporate
heard.
pigs out there.
I think there's like some sort of movie about it.
Oh.
Like there's literally a movie about McDonald's.
Well, that was the section.
So-
What'd you think?
But that was interesting.
Yeah, just little
Robert
bit tidbits.
Pattinson stealing socks and getting in trouble with it.
Just
for
the
it.
small stuff that everybody needs to know. You know?
Like, how much did these socks cost?
Dude, that's what I was thinking. Like, what are they? Steel socks? They're made out of pure gold? Give us our socks back! Who else is gonna wear the socks?
I just imagine.
Can I
Like,
please wear the sweaty fucking Robert Pattinson sock?
I know, like Marvel actors will try to steal their superhero costumes like all the time.
Oh, of course, I would.
And like, I'm pretty sure most of them are just so unsuccessful with it. The only one that I could probably think of is probably who plays Hulk? Mark Ruffalo, right? Yeah. I just imagine his is the easiest because his is just like a pair of pants. But the pair.
Can I get some of that green paint?
Yeah. Though then again, he does like wear like a whole entire like special suit for the CG parts.
They probably got mad because he stole the underwear underneath.
They have like little Hulk faces on them.
What I don't get is they might as well just let the actors keep the suits, because each time they make a new movie, they never wear the same suit.
No, they don't. Well, they always have like the same suit for like a little bit, but the thing is, like also like for people like Tom Holland or the Hulk, like their suits are, I mean, obviously the Hulk, but spoiler alert!
Wow, the Hulk doesn't just wear a zip-up onesie?
No, well, like for Tom Holland, some scenes is like that's not him. That's a CG character. That's not the actual suit playing. So it's like,
Which is probably why his back isn't as broken as the original Spider-Man.
right? So it's like, why don't you just let Tom Holland at least have one of the suits? Like, for example, like in No Way Home, like that hybrid suit that he has,
Yeah.
that suit is completely CG. They didn't make that suit. It's not real. I don't know what you seem so like in awe about it.
No, I was like, what does he want me to say?
Let me tell you, nostalgia isn't even enough for this show.
And they were trying to recreate iconic moments, but like make it more mainstream, but it's just not working.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't stand it.
Yeah, it's that first day of first grade. That cute girl, your third day. That backpack, that snapback you've had since the third grade. The first time you got laid, the worst time you got played. It hurt, but you're okay. You learn from your mistakes. Your friends back.